The sound of roller suitcase wheels on hardwood flooring is surprisingly loud at 6:30 in the morning. Each click and clack echoes through the hallway of our modest two-bedroom ranch house like a countdown timer reaching 0. I'm standing in the kitchen, holding a lukewarm cup of coffee in a chipped mug that says, "World's Most Okay, Dad." A gag gift from a Secret Santa exchange 7 years ago. The mug is the color of old dishwater now, the lettering faded from 1,000 trips through our ancient dishwasher. The burnt toast smell hangs in the air. I'd put 2 slices in 5 minutes ago and forgotten about them while staring at the rain starting to bead up on the kitchen window. Now they're sitting on a paper towel, black around the edges, inedible. Typical Arthur Sterling efficiency. Amelia appears in the kitchen doorway with her largest suitcase, the burgundy Samsonite we bought for our anniversary trip to Niagara Falls 12 years ago. She's wearing a cream-colored cashmere sweater I've never seen before, probably cost more than my weekly grocery budget. Her hair is different too, highlighted, professional. She looks like she's dressed for a magazine photo shoot, not for leaving her husband of 22 years on a Tuesday morning. "I'm taking the rest of my things this weekend," she says. Not, "Good morning," not, "Arthur, we need to talk," just logistics, like she's discussing a furniture delivery. I take a sip of the coffee. It tastes like hot water with the ghost of coffee beans somewhere in its past. "Okay," I say. "That's it." She sets the suitcase down. The wheels lock with a plastic click. "That's all you have to say. Okay?" I look at her, really look at her. When did the lines around her mouth get so deep? When did her eyes start looking past me instead of at me? "What would you like me to say, Amelia?" She laughs. It's not a happy sound. It's the kind of laugh you make when you're trying not to cry or trying not to scream. This is exactly why I'm leaving. You're so beige, Arthur. You're like living with a piece of furniture, a dependable, boring, grey piece of furniture. The rain picks up outside. I can hear it hammering on the roof now, filling the silence between us. Orchestrated sensory scene building and dialogue to establish protagonist character and central betrayal. Good start. I'm establishing the sensory details: sound of wheels, smell of burnt toast, lukewarm coffee, rain sounds. Now I need to continue building this scene with more emotional weight and dialogue that sets up Arthur's character and Amelia's betrayal. Let me continue. "I've given you everything," I say quietly. "Numbers don't lie, but people do. It's something my father used to say when he taught me accounting at the kitchen table. I paid off your student loans. I worked overtime when your mother needed that surgery. I paid off, worked, needed." She cuts me off, voice rising. "Do you hear yourself? Everything is a transaction with you, a balance sheet. You don't live, Arthur. You just exist. You calculate. Someone has to be responsible." "Marcus doesn't think like that," she says. And there it is. The real reason she's standing in my kitchen at 6:30 in the morning with a suitcase packed, Marcus Hale, her boss, the CEO of Apex Innovations, the man who drives a leased Maserati and wears suits that cost more than my monthly mortgage payment. Marcus, I repeat the name, it tastes sour in my mouth. He has vision, Arthur, passion. He sees the world in color, not in columns of numbers. He took me to Balboa last month for the conference, and we watched the sunset from this restaurant on the beach, and I realized I haven't felt anything in years. Nothing. You've made me numb. The coffee mug is warm in my hands. I focus on that sensation. The ceramic against my palms, the heat seeping through. If I focus on physical things, I don't have to think about the fact that my wife is comparing me to her boss. My wife is leaving me for her boss. "I never cheated," I say. "I never lied. I showed up every day." "You showed up." She picks up her suitcase handle again. "That's the problem. You just showed up. You never lived. We never went anywhere. We never did anything spontaneous. When was the last time you surprised me? When was the last time you did something that wasn't planned and budgeted and analyzed to death?" I don't have an answer for that. She softens slightly just for a moment. "I tried, Arthur, I really did. But I can't spend the rest of my life being invisible with you. Marcus sees me. He makes me feel alive. He makes $75,000 a year more than me and drives a car he can't afford," I say. "The accountant in me can't help it. It's automatic. His credit score is probably this." She nearly shouts it. "This is what I mean. Who cares about his credit score? Who cares about responsible budgeting and retirement planning and all the boring grey things you care about? I want to feel something before I'm too old to feel anything at all. She walks out. The door opens, and cold October air rushes in, carrying the smell of wet leaves and approaching winter. The door closes. The deadbolt doesn't click because she took her key off the ring and left it on the hallway table. I hear her footsteps on the porch, the suitcase wheels on the wooden stairs, then a car door. A Mercedes, probably. Marcus's car. Or maybe the BMW he mentioned getting as a company vehicle. I stand in my kitchen holding my coffee, listening to the rain, and I don't move for a very long time. On screen, if you've ever felt invisible in your own home, hit that like button. This story gets so much better. 3 days earlier, Sunday morning, the thing about being a forensic auditor is that you see the world differently. You see patterns where other people see chaos. You see theft where other people see bad luck. You see the truth hidden in the numbers that everyone else ignores. I've been with Mercer & Associates for 32 years. I started as a junior accountant right out of university, back when we still used paper ledgers and adding machines that sounded like mechanical typewriters. Now I'm a senior partner, though you'd never know it from looking at me. I wear the same 3 grey suits I've worn for the past decade, rotated on a schedule, dry cleaned every third wearing. I drive a 2012 Honda Accord with cloth seats and no navigation system because I know how to read a map. My office is on the 3rd floor, corner window, no decorations except for a single photograph of Amelia from our wedding day. It was on my desk. Past tense now. That Sunday morning, 3 days before Amelia left, I was in my home office working on a file. This was normal. I often worked weekends. Amelia used to bring me coffee and kiss the top of my head. Then she started going to yoga. Then she started going to networking events. Then she just stopped coming into my office at all. The home office is barely bigger than a closet. There's a desk made from a hollow core door laid across 2 filing cabinets, a task lamp with a green glass shade, and a chair I bought at a garage sale for $15. The walls are beige. The carpet is beige. I'm wearing beige slippers. Amelia was right about one thing. I am very, very grey. Orchestrated narrative progression through Act 2 setup and character development. I'm making good progress. I've established the hook, the breakup, and now I'm in Act 2 providing context about Arthur's life and character. I need to continue building up the flashbacks, showing his sacrifices, and then introduce the twist about the audit assignment. Let me keep going with the sensory details and slow pacing as instructed. I heard her on the phone in the kitchen. Our house has thin walls. You can hear everything from everywhere. She was laughing, a bright, tinkling laugh I hadn't heard in years, maybe ever. No, he won't notice, she was saying. He's in his office looking at spreadsheets. He could sit there for 6 hours and not even realize I'm gone. I should have felt angry. Instead, I felt something worse. I felt nothing. She was right. I probably wouldn't notice. I'd look up eventually, maybe around dinner time, and wonder vaguely where she was. Then I'd heat up leftovers and go back to my desk. When had we become this? When had we become 2 strangers living in the same house, orbiting each other like planets that never touch? 9 years earlier, 2016. The student loan statement came in a manila envelope. Amelia brought it to me in the living room, her hands shaking. I don't know what to do, she whispered. She'd gone back to school for her MBA at age 36. It was supposed to open doors. Instead, it opened a hole in our finances that threatened to swallow us whole. The statement showed $127,000 in debt. The minimum monthly payment was $1,450. We were barely making the mortgage. We'll figure it out, I told her. I took a second job doing bookkeeping for 3 small businesses. I worked from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Mercer & Associates, then from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at my home office, hunched over QuickBooks files for a plumbing company, a dry cleaner, and a veterinary clinic. I did this for 3 years. Every extra dollar went to Amelia's loans. She got a job at Apex Innovations as a project coordinator, entry level, but it had potential. She was grateful. She kissed me when she got the offer letter. "You're my rock," she said. "My steady, solid rock." We paid off the loans in 7 years instead of 20. I calculated that I'd worked approximately 8,240 hours of overtime to make that happen. She never thanked me, not once after that first day. 6 years earlier, 2019. Her mother had a heart attack, triple bypass surgery. The insurance covered 80%. The 20% was $43,000. "We don't have that," Amelia sobbed. "We just finished paying my loans." "We don't have that kind of money." "We'll figure it out," I said again. I refinanced our house, took the equity we'd built up and turned it back into debt. The new payment was $340 more per month. I started bringing lunch to work instead of buying it. I stopped replacing my shoes when they wore out. I just had them resoled at the cobbler on 5th Street. Mr. Chen charged $12 and did beautiful work. Amelia's mother recovered. She moved to Arizona to be near Amelia's sister. She sent a thank you card. Amelia never mentioned the money again. 2 years earlier, 2023, Marcus Hale became the CEO of Apex Innovations. I remember because Amelia came home glowing. "He's incredible, Arthur. He's got this vision for the company. He's going to take us public. He's going to make us all rich." She started working longer hours, coming home later, checking her phone constantly. She bought new clothes, expensive ones. "I need to look the part," she explained. "Marcus says presentation is everything in business." I didn't argue. I never argued. I just quietly moved money from our vacation fund to our checking account to cover the credit card bills. 6 months earlier, August 2025. We were supposed to go to Portland for our anniversary. I'd been planning it for months. Found a bed and breakfast that got incredible reviews. Made reservations at a restaurant that overlooked the river. But Amelia said she had to go to a conference in San Diego. "It's for work," she said. "Marcus specifically requested me for the presentation team. This is my chance to show what I can do." I cancelled Portland. Lost the deposits. $450 total. She came back from San Diego with a tan and a new purse that cost more than my monthly car payment. She showed me pictures on her phone, the hotel, the beach, the sunset from a restaurant deck. In one photo, I could see a man's hand holding a wine glass. The sleeve of his jacket was visible, navy blue, expensive fabric. "Looks like you had a good time," I said. "It was amazing," she replied. She didn't notice that I'd noticed the hand. Or maybe she did notice. Maybe she just didn't care. Sunday morning, present day. The phone rang at 11:47 a.m. I answered on the third ring. "Hello?" "Arthur, it's Gerald. Gerald Mercer, founding partner, the man who hired me 3 decades ago." "Hello, Gerald. What can I do for you?" "Need you in the office tomorrow morning. Early, 7 a.m. His voice was tight, serious. Gerald only called on Sundays if something was urgent. "Of course. What's the matter?" "Potential merger, big one. Client wants a comprehensive forensic audit before they proceed. We're talking a $50 million deal, Arthur. Maybe bigger. They need our absolute best work." My pulse didn't change. It never does. But something sharpened in my mind. This was the kind of case I lived for. The kind where the numbers tell a story that everyone else misses. "What's the company?" "Apex Innovations. Tech firm here in the city. CEO named Marcus Hale. Ever heard of it?" I stopped breathing. The rain outside had stopped. I could hear Amelia's voice in the kitchen, still on the phone, still laughing. "Arthur, you there?" "I'm here," I said. My voice sounded normal, steady, grey. "Apex Innovations. Yes, I'll be there at 7. "Good man. Bring your A-game. This CEO, Hale, he's supposedly some kind of boy wonder. But the client has concerns. They want us to look at everything. Every account, every transaction, every decimal point." "Understood." I hung up. I sat very still in my beige office with my beige walls and my $15 garage sale chair. Numbers don't lie, but people do. And suddenly, I had the opportunity to find out which category Marcus Hale fell into. I smiled. It was a small smile, the kind you make when you realize that the universe occasionally has a sense of humor. Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. The Mercer and Associates building is downtown, 12 stories of 1970s architecture that nobody bothered to update because accountants don't care about aesthetics. We care about function. The lobby smells like floor wax and old coffee. The elevator takes 45 seconds to reach the 3rd floor. I've timed it. Gerald's office is on the 12th floor. I took the stairs because the elevator was full of people I didn't want to make small talk with. By the time I reached his door, my legs burned slightly. I'm 58. I should exercise more. I should do a lot of things. Gerald was already behind his desk, reading glasses perched on his nose, 3 file folders spread out in front of him. He's 67, completely bald, with the kind of face that looks permanently skeptical. In 32 years I've never seen him laugh, smile occasionally. Laugh, never. Arthur, sit. I sat in the leather chair across from his desk. It creaked under my weight. Apex Innovations, Gerald said without preamble, founded 8 years ago, started as a mid-level software consulting firm. Marcus Hale bought a controlling interest 4 years ago. Since then, the company has tripled in size. They've got contracts with 3 Fortune 500 companies and a government defense contractor. Revenue last year was $83 million. He pushed a folder toward me. I opened it. Financial statements, annual reports, tax returns, all the usual documents. Everything looked clean at first glance. Too clean. What are the client's concerns? I asked. Evergreen Capital Partners. They want to acquire Apex for $52 million, but their due diligence team flagged some irregularities. Nothing concrete, just feelings, instincts, numbers that look right but feel wrong. I nodded. I understood feelings and instincts. Most people think accounting is purely objective, black and white debits and credits, but the truth is, good forensic auditors develop a sense for fraud. We smell it, we taste it. We feel it in the patterns that are too perfect, the numbers that are too round, the explanations that are too smooth. What's my scope? I asked. Everything. Complete access to all financial records, all bank accounts, all transactions for the past 5 years. They've agreed to full transparency. Timeline: 3 weeks, preliminary report in 1 week, final report in 3. I'll need Mitchell to assist. Mitchell Zhao, junior partner, brilliant with databases and pattern recognition, young enough to still work 18-hour days without complaining. You've got him, whatever you need. This is priority 1, Arthur. If we find fraud, Evergreen pays us double our usual rate. If we clear them, we've just landed one of the biggest clients in the city. Either way, this is high stakes. I stood up. I'll start today. Arthur? Gerald looked up at me. Off the record, what's your gut tell you? I thought about Marcus Hale's leased Maserati, his expensive suits, the way Amelia's eyes lit up when she talked about his vision, the hand holding the wine glass in the San Diego photo. I think, I said carefully, that companies don't triple in size in 2 years without someone bending the rules. The question is how much they bent them, and whether they bent them into breaking. Gerald grunted. That's what I thought too. Get to work. I walked out of his office down the 12 flights of stairs to my own office on the 3rd floor. The photograph of Amelia was still on my desk. I looked at it for a long moment, her in her wedding dress, me in my rented tuxedo, both of us young and stupid and full of hope we didn't know how to keep. Then I turned the frame face down and pulled out a fresh legal pad. At the top of the first page I wrote, Apex Innovations, Forensic Audit. Underneath that I wrote, Numbers don't lie, but people do. And then I began to work. Day 1, Monday, 9:47 a.m. The Apex Innovations office is in the Riverside complex, one of those glass and steel buildings that tries too hard to look futuristic. The lobby has a waterfall feature that sounds like someone perpetually flushing a very expensive toilet. The receptionist is young, blonde, wearing a headset that makes her look like a cyborg. Everything is white and chrome and utterly soulless. Arthur Sterling and Mitchell Zhao from Mercer and Associates, I tell her. We have an appointment with your CFO. She types something, nods, smiles with teeth so white they're probably laminated. 10th floor. Someone will meet you there. The elevator is all mirrors. I avoid looking at myself. Mitchell beside me is checking his phone. He's 29, wears designer jeans and vintage band t-shirts, has a master's in data analytics from MIT. He's everything I'm not. Young, stylish, comfortable with technology that goes beyond Excel. "Boss," he says without looking up, "we running this silent or collaborative?" "Silent," I reply. "We observe, we document. We don't share preliminary findings until we're certain." "You think they're dirty?" "I think everyone's dirty until the numbers prove otherwise." The elevator opens on 10. A woman in a pencil skirt and heels that must hurt is waiting for us. "Mr. Sterling, I'm Jennifer Chen, executive assistant to Brian Hartford, our CFO. If you'll follow me." We follow her through an open floor plan filled with standing desks and motivational posters. One says, "Innovate or die," in silver letters 3 feet high. Another shows a mountain climber and says, "Success is a journey, not a destination." I hate motivational posters. They're what people hang when they've run out of actual values. Brian Hartford's office is corner suite, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the river. He's 42, according to the file Gerald gave me. Former Big Four auditor, Stanford MBA. He stands when we enter and extends a hand. "Mr. Sterling, pleasure to meet you. Your reputation precedes you." His handshake is firm, practiced. His suit is Armani. His watch is a Rolex Submariner worth approximately $15,000. CFOs at $83 million companies should not be wearing $15,000 watches. They should be wearing Seiko and putting the difference into their 401k. "This is my associate Mitchell Zhao," I say. More handshakes, more practiced smiles. "So," Hartford says, settling into his leather chair, "Evergreen is doing their due diligence. Completely understandable. We're an open book. Whatever you need, you'll have." "Access to all financial systems," I say. "All bank accounts, all ledgers, all transactions." 5 years back. "Of course. Access to physical documents, contracts, invoices, receipts. We're mostly digital, but yes, whatever exists. Access to interview staff, finance team, project managers, anyone who handles money." Hartford's smile doesn't change, but something flickers behind his eyes. "Within reason. We're still running a business. Can't have you disrupting operations." "I'm not here to disrupt," I say. "I'm here to count." "Fair enough." He stands, walks to his window. The river below is grey-green, choppy with wind. "Mr. Sterling, I'll be honest with you. Marcus, our CEO, he's a visionary. He sees opportunities where other people see obstacles. Sometimes his methods are unconventional. But everything we do is legal, above board, by the book." "Which book?" Mitchell asks. He has a habit of asking questions that sound innocent but aren't. Hartford turns. "Excuse me. Which book are you following? GAAP, IFRS, some hybrid system?" "GAAP, of course. We're a US company." "Then we shouldn't find any issues," I say smoothly. "If everything's GAAP compliant, our audit will be quick and painless." "Exactly." Hartford's smile returns. "Jennifer will set you up in a conference room. Full computer access. Anything you need." We're dismissed. The conference room is on the 8th floor. No windows. Just a long table, 8 chairs, and a smell like new carpet and air conditioning. There are 2 laptops waiting for us, already logged into Apex's financial systems. Mitchell sits down and cracks his knuckles. "Where do we start?" "Revenue recognition," I say. "Always start with revenue. Strategized Act 3 investigation progression and tension-building techniques. I'm making good progress through Act 3. I've established the audit beginning and now need to show Arthur discovering the fraud patterns. I should continue with detailed scenes of the investigation, building tension as he uncovers more evidence. Let me continue with the slow burn discovery process. Day 1, Monday, 2:34 p.m. Revenue recognition is the art of deciding when money you've been promised becomes money you've earned. It's also where most fraud happens because it's subjective. Gray, subject to interpretation. I pull up Apex's revenue reports for the past 3 years. Mitchell works on the database, writing queries to pull transaction details. The revenue curve is interesting. Very interesting. Most companies grow steadily, a little bit each quarter. Some quarters are better, some worse, but there's a pattern, a rhythm. Apex's revenue jumps are too perfect. Q4 of 2022, up exactly 23%. Q1 of 2023, up exactly 23%. Q2 of 2023, up exactly 23%. Nothing grows in exactly 23% increments. Nothing. Mitchell, I say, what's the probability of 3 consecutive quarters showing identical growth rates? He's already typing. Statistically, assuming normal market variation? About 0.03%. Basically impossible. Unless someone's making it look that way. Unless someone's making it look that way, he agrees. I start digging into the specific transactions. Each revenue entry should have a corresponding contract, a delivery of service and a payment. The holy trinity of accounting. The contracts look good. Too good. They're all perfectly structured, perfectly timed, perfectly everything. I pick one at random. Contract NORE 2147, signed September 15th, 2023. Client, Vertex Distribution Solutions. Amount, $2.3 million for comprehensive digital transformation consulting. I pull up Vertex Distribution Solutions in Google. The company exists. Website looks professional. Address in Delaware. I call the phone number listed on the contract. It rings 4 times. Then, "You've reached Vertex Distribution Solutions. Please leave a message." Generic voicemail. No company name spoken. No person identified. I try the address. Street view shows a small office building. Generic. Could be anything. Something's wrong. I spend the next 2 hours pulling up 20 random contracts. Half of them have similar red flags. Generic voicemails, Delaware or Nevada addresses. Websites that look professional but have no real content. Mitchell leans back in his chair. "Boss, I found something." "Show me." He turns his laptop. "Payment patterns. Look at this." He's pulled up all incoming payments for the past year. They're color-coded by client. There are clusters, groups of payments that come in on the same days from different clients, but in oddly similar amounts. See here? October 12th. 3 different clients, all paid within 2 hours of each other. $347,000, $349,000, $351,000. Could be coincidence. Could be, except it happened 17 times in the past year. Different clients, same pattern, payments clustered together, amounts suspiciously similar. I lean forward. This is it. This is the smell of fraud. "What's your theory?" I ask. "Round tripping? Maybe circular payments. Apex pays money to shell companies. Shell companies pay it back as revenue. Makes it look like they have more business than they do. It's elegant, illegal, but elegant." "We need to trace the payments," I say. "Find out where the money actually goes." "That's going to take bank records. We'll need subpoenas." "We'll get them, but first we need enough evidence to convince a judge." I pull out my phone and call Gerald. He answers on the first ring. "Talk to me. We've got anomalies, significant ones. I need authorization to go deeper." "How deep?" "Bank records, corporate formation documents, full forensic analysis of their client base." There's a pause. I can hear him thinking. "That's going to raise flags. If Hale gets wind that we're going beyond standard due diligence, then we'll find out if he has something to hide." "Do it. But Arthur, be careful. These tech CEO types, they've got lawyers and connections. If you're going after fraud, you'd better be damn sure." "I'm sure." I hang up. Mitchell is grinning. "We're going hunting." "We're going hunting," I confirm. The smell of the conference room, new carpet, recycled air, cheap coffee from the pot in the corner, suddenly smells like possibility. Day 3. Wednesday, 11:23 p.m. I'm alone in my office at Mercer & Associates. The building is empty. The cleaning crew finished an hour ago. There's just me, the desk lamp, and 700 pages of bank records spread across every surface. I've been here since 6 a.m. 17 hours. My eyes hurt. My back hurts. The coffee has gone from bad to worse to undrinkable, but I keep drinking it anyway because I need the caffeine. But I found it. I found the pattern. Apex Innovations has 14 shell companies, all registered in Delaware or Nevada, all with similar names: Vertex Distribution Solutions, Apex Consulting Services, Summit Strategic Partners, Zenith Technology Group. The pattern is beautiful in its simplicity. Apex signs a contract with a shell company. Apex books revenue based on the contract. Apex transfers money to the shell company's bank account. The shell company transfers the money right back to Apex as payment for services. Repeat. It's a carousel, money going in circles, creating the illusion of growth. But that's not the most interesting part. The most interesting part is who controls the shell companies. I've traced the corporate formation documents. Most of them lead back to a law firm in Delaware, Rothstein and Associates. But three of the companies, list a second authorized signer on the bank accounts. Amelia Sterling, my wife, former wife, soon-to-be former wife. Her name is on 3 bank accounts that have moved $8.7 million in fraudulent revenue in the past 18 months. I sit back in my chair. It creaks. The sound is very loud in the empty office. There are 2 possibilities. 1. Amelia knows she's part of a fraud scheme. She's actively helping Marcus Hale commit a crime. 2. Amelia doesn't know. Marcus put her name on the accounts without her knowledge. Set her up as the fall guy. If the fraud is discovered, she takes the blame while he claims ignorance. I think about the woman who left me 3 days ago, the woman who called me gray and boring and beige, the woman who said Marcus makes her feel alive. Is she a criminal or is she a victim? I pull up her social media. Instagram public profile. She's posted 6 times in the past 3 days. Photo 1, a latte with foam art. Caption: New beginnings taste sweet. Photo 2, the view from a high-rise apartment. Caption: Room with a view. Photo 3, her and Marcus at a restaurant, his arm around her, both of them smiling. Caption: Life is too short for boring dinners with boring people. The boring people comment has 43 likes. I close Instagram. I should warn her. That's what a good person would do. A decent person. A person who still loves their wife, even after she leaves them for a flashy CEO with a leased Maserati. But she called me beige. But she said I made her feel numb. But she's been lying to me for months, maybe years. But she left. I reopen the bank records. I make copies of everything. I organize them into folders: revenue fraud, shell companies, bank records, corporate documents. I create a separate folder labeled Evidence Against Amelia Sterling. Then I keep working. Numbers don't lie, but people do. It's time to find out exactly how many people are lying. Day 5, Friday, 4:17 p.m. Mitchell and I are back in the conference room at Apex. We've been avoiding interaction with the staff, but today Marcus Hale himself shows up. He's everything the files suggested. Tall, fit, salt and pepper hair styled with product that probably costs more than my monthly haircut budget. Navy suit, tailored, no tie, the modern executive trying to look accessible while wearing $3,000 worth of clothing. "Gentlemen," he says, striding in with the confidence of someone who's never been told no. "Brian tells me you're making good progress on the audit." I stand. Mitchell does too. We shake hands. "Progress," I say neutrally. "Excellent. Listen, I wanted to touch base personally. Make sure you have everything you need. Evergreen capital is important to us. This merger, it's the next phase of our growth. I want to make sure there are no hiccups." "No hiccups," I repeat. He looks at me, really looks. I see the moment he assesses me: gray suit, cheap shoes, forgettable face. I see him decide I'm no threat. "You're probably finding things that look unusual," he says. "Fast-growth companies like ours, we do things differently. We're agile, we move quickly. Sometimes the accounting doesn't keep up with the business reality." "Accounting should always reflect business reality," I say. "In theory, sure." He sits on the edge of the conference table, casual, friendly. "But in practice, sometimes you need to be creative. Recognize revenue a little early. Book contracts optimistically. It's not fraud, it's just entrepreneurship." Mitchell shifts beside me. I can feel him wanting to speak. I touch his arm lightly. "Not yet." "Mr. Hale," I say. "In my experience, there's a clear line between creative accounting and fraud. Creative accounting is choosing between 2 acceptable methods. Fraud is inventing transactions that don't exist." His smile doesn't change. "Of course. And you won't find any invented transactions here. Everything we do is real. Real contracts, real clients, real money. I'm sure. He stands, checks his watch. Well, I'll let you get back to it. Dinner plans tonight. Big client, lots of wine, you know how it is. He pauses at the door. Arthur. Can I call you Arthur? Your firm came highly recommended. Gerald Mercer, he's a legend in this city. When I heard he was putting his best man on our audit, I knew we'd be in good hands. Thank you. Tell me, Arthur, you married? Kids? The question catches me off guard. Separated? Ah, sorry to hear that. Marriage is tough, takes work. My first marriage fell apart because I worked too much, didn't pay enough attention. You know what they say. Success in business, failure in life. He laughs. I don't. This time I'm doing it right, he continues. Found someone who understands the business world, someone ambitious, someone who wants to build something together. He's talking about Amelia. He's standing in front of me talking about my wife. I keep my face perfectly neutral. Congratulations. Thanks. Anyway, you need anything, just ask. We're an open book. He leaves. Mitchell waits 30 seconds, then, holy shit, boss, did he just... Yes. He was talking about... Yes. And you didn't... No. Mitchell sits down. You're either a saint or a psychopath. Neither, I say. I'm a forensic auditor, and he just confirmed everything I suspected. How? I pull up my notes. He said, everything we do is real. Real contracts, real clients, real money. But he didn't say legal. He didn't say compliant. He didn't say above board. He said real. Which means he knows some of it isn't real and he's worried we'll figure out which parts. You got all that from one sentence? I got all that from 32 years of listening to people lie about money. I turn back to my laptop. Let's keep digging. We've got 2 weeks to build an airtight case. And I want it to be perfect. Because perfect cases don't just expose fraud. They destroy the people who committed it. Day 9, Tuesday, 8:43 p.m. I'm at home. The house is empty, quiet, too quiet. The kitchen still smells faintly like Amelia's perfume, Chanel No. 5. I used to buy her a bottle every Christmas, $150 at the department store counter. She acted like it was thoughtful, probably wanted something more expensive. I make dinner, grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup from a can. It's what my mother used to make me when I was sick. Comfort food. I eat at the kitchen table, alone, looking at the chair where Amelia used to sit. My phone buzzes. Text message, unknown number. The message says, stop digging or you'll regret it. I stare at it for a long moment. Then I screenshot it, save it to my evidence folder, and go back to eating my soup. Anonymous threats are the second best indicator of fraud. The best indicator is when someone tries to bribe you. I'm hoping for both. Day 11, Thursday, 2:15 p.m. Mitchell bursts into my office without knocking. Boss, you need to see this. He's holding his laptop like it's a winning lottery ticket. I look up from the expense report I'm reviewing. Show me. He sets the laptop on my desk. I've been analyzing the payment flows through the shell companies, following the money. Most of it just circles back to Apex like we thought, but some of it doesn't. Where does it go? Offshore accounts, Cayman Islands, 2 accounts, one in Marcus Hale's name, one in Amelia's name. How did you know? Because she's the fall guy. Marcus is setting her up. If anyone discovers the fraud, her name is on all the documents. She takes the criminal liability. He claims she did it without his knowledge. Mitchell sits down hard in the chair across from my desk. That's evil. That's smart, I correct. Evil, yes, but smart. Amelia has access to financial systems because she's a project coordinator. Her digital signature is on dozens of internal documents. If Marcus needed someone to be the scapegoat, she's perfect. Does she know? No. I'm certain of this. Amelia is many things. Vain, status-obsessed, shallow, but she's not stupid. She wouldn't knowingly be part of a fraud scheme, not when she could go to prison. What do we do? I lean back in my chair. It creaks. I should get a new chair. I've been saying that for 10 years. How much money are we talking about total? Mitchell checks his notes. Fraudulent revenue from shell companies, $23 million over 3 years. Money diverted to offshore accounts, $4.7 million. Marcus's account has $3.1 million. Amelia's has $1.6 million. She has no idea that account exists. Probably not. But legally, her name is on it. Her digital signature authorized the transfers. On paper, she's an active participant. I think about this. I think about Amelia calling me boring. I think about her leaving me for a man who is currently framing her for federal fraud. I think about the life I could have had if I'd been less grey, less beige, less focused on doing everything right. Then I think about who I actually am. I'm Arthur Sterling. I'm a forensic auditor. Numbers don't lie, but people do. And my job is to reveal the truth, even when the truth hurts people I used to love. We document everything, I tell Mitchell, every transaction, every transfer, every signature. We build a case that a federal prosecutor can take to trial and win, and we do it by the book. Do we warn her? I don't answer immediately. If I warn Amelia, she'll tell Marcus. Marcus will destroy evidence. The case falls apart. The fraud continues. Other people get hurt. If I don't warn Amelia, she gets arrested. She goes to trial. Maybe she goes to prison. No, I say finally. We don't warn her. Mitchell looks at me like he's seeing me for the first time. Boss, are you sure? I'm sure. Because this is your wife we're talking about. Ex-wife, soon-to-be ex-wife. Still. Mitchell. I look at him directly. If we warn her, we lose the case. If we lose the case, Marcus Hale walks away and does this again to someone else. And next time it won't be my wife he's setting up. It'll be some other innocent person who gets caught in his machine. Is that what you want? No. Neither do I. So we don't warn her. We build the case. We let justice happen. Even if justice means she goes to prison. I turn back to my computer. The law doesn't care if you knew or didn't know. It cares what you signed, what accounts have your name, what transfers you authorized. Ignorance isn't a defense. But it could be. With a good lawyer. Mitchell. I say it sharply. He stops talking. We are not defense attorneys. We are forensic auditors. We find the fraud, we document the fraud, we report the fraud. What happens after that is not our problem. He nods slowly. Okay. Okay. He stands to leave, pauses at the door. For what it's worth, boss, I think you're doing the right thing. I'm doing the only thing, I reply. After he leaves, I sit in my office for a long time, listening to the buildings settle around me. Somewhere in this city, Amelia is probably at Marcus's apartment, probably drinking expensive wine, probably planning a future that will never happen. And I'm here, building the bomb that will destroy both of their lives. I should feel guilty. I don't. I feel nothing. Grey, beige, numb, exactly what she accused me of being. Maybe she was right all along. Day 14, Sunday, 9:47 p.m. The final report is 247 pages long. I've spent the past 2 days formatting it, checking every citation, every exhibit, every claim. Mitchell helped with the data visualizations, charts and graphs that show the flow of fraudulent money in ways even a non-accountant can understand. The executive summary fits on 2 pages. Apex Innovations, Forensic Audit, Executive Summary Findings. Apex Innovations has engaged in systematic revenue fraud over a 3-year period. The company created 14 shell entities and used circular transactions to inflate revenue by approximately $23 million. This represents 27.7% of reported revenue during the relevant period. Method: Apex would sign contracts with shell companies, book revenue based on these contracts, transfer payment to the shell companies, and receive the same money back as payment for services. This created the appearance of organic growth, while actual revenue remained stagnant. Participants: evidence indicates the fraud was orchestrated by CEO Marcus Hale. Project coordinator Amelia Sterling's digital signatures appear on numerous relevant documents, and her name is associated with offshore accounts containing $1.6 million in diverted funds. Recommendation: Immediate withdrawal from merger consideration. Referral to federal authorities for criminal investigation. Supporting evidence. 245 pages of bank records, contracts, corporate formation documents, and transaction analyses. It's Sunday night. I'm supposed to submit the preliminary report to Gerald tomorrow morning. Final report in 1 week. But the case is complete. There's nothing more to find. Every number checked, every document verified, every claim backed by evidence. I could submit it now. I should submit it now. Instead, I open my desk drawer and pull out the photograph of Amelia, the one I turned face down 2 weeks ago. She looks young in the picture, 25 years old. Long hair, bright smile, no idea what the next 22 years would bring. I look young too, thin, hopeful, stupid. We were happy once, weren't we? Or were we just too young to know we weren't? My phone rings. I look at the screen. It's Amelia. My finger hovers over the decline button. Then, curiosity wins. I answer. Hello? Arthur. Her voice is tight, stressed. Arthur, I need to talk to you. I'm listening. Can we meet, please? There's something I need to tell you, something important. I check the time. 9:52 p.m. Now, please. The coffee shop on 7th Street, the one that's open late. Please, Arthur, it's important. I should say no. I should hang up. I should submit my report and let the wheels of justice turn. But I'm curious. And maybe somewhere deep in my grey, beige, boring soul, I still care what she has to say. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Thank you, Arthur. She hangs up. I sit for a moment holding the phone, looking at her photograph. Then I put on my coat, grab my car keys, and drive to 7th Street. Day 14, Sunday 10:18 p.m. The coffee shop on 7th Street is called Nocturne. It's one of those places that tries too hard to be artistic. Exposed brick walls, mismatched furniture, Edison bulbs hanging from the ceiling on different length cords. The espresso machine hisses and groans like a dying animal. The air smells like burnt coffee beans and the kind of desperation that only exists after 10 p.m. on a Sunday. Amelia is already here. She's sitting in the back corner wearing a hoodie I've never seen before. Grey, oversized, the hood pulled up partially. She looks smaller than I remember, fragile. She sees me and waves. Not a big wave, just a small gesture, almost apologetic. I order a black coffee from the barista, a kid with a nose ring and a neck tattoo, who looks like he's never had to worry about a 401k in his life. The coffee costs $60.50, highway robbery. I pay with exact change and carry the mug to Amelia's table. Hi, she says softly. Hi, I sit down. The chair is uncomfortable, wooden with a seat that's too small and a back that hits my spine at the wrong angle. Everything in this place is designed to make you leave quickly. Thanks for coming, she says. You said it was important. She wraps her hands around her own coffee cup. Herbal tea, it looks like. Something with a tag hanging over the side. Her hands are shaking slightly. Are you okay? I ask, despite myself. No, she laughs. It's a broken sound. No, Arthur, I'm not okay. I wait. I'm good at waiting. It's part of being an auditor, knowing when to stay silent and let the other person fill the void. I think I made a mistake, she says finally. With Marcus. With everything. What kind of mistake? She looks down at her tea. He's not who I thought he was. The apartment he put me in? It's leased under the company name. The clothes he bought me. Company credit card. The dinners, the trips, all of it. It's all company money. He doesn't actually have anything. It's all just borrowed. Stolen, maybe. I take a sip of my coffee. It tastes like hot bitterness. Appropriate. What made you realize this? I ask. I was looking for a document on his laptop. He'd left it open at his apartment. I needed a contract for a project I'm working on. And I saw files. Financial files, bank statements, offshore accounts. My pulse quickens, but I keep my expression neutral. Offshore accounts. Yeah. Cayman Islands. There were 2 of them, one in his name and one in... Arthur, one of them had my name on it. Your name? Yes. An account with 1.6 million in it, with my name as the account holder. I never opened that account. I never authorized anything. I don't understand what it means, but Arthur, I'm scared. She looks up at me. Her eyes are red. She's been crying, maybe for hours. Did you ask Marcus about it? I keep my voice level, calm, grey. I tried. He got angry, defensive, said I was being paranoid, said I was snooping where I didn't belong. He grabbed his laptop and left. I haven't heard from him in 2 days. 2 days? I've been calling, texting, nothing. And Arthur, I'm starting to think he's been using me. For something, I don't know what, but something bad. I set down my coffee cup. The ceramic makes a soft click against the wooden table. This is the moment. This is where I could tell her everything, show her the report, explain that she's not paranoid, she's right. Marcus has been using her, setting her up, destroying her life while making her think he's saving it. This is where I could be the hero, the good ex-husband who warns his former wife that she's walking into a trap. But, Amelia, I say carefully, why are you telling me this? She looks surprised by the question. Because you're the only person I can trust. You're honest, you're careful. You always know what to do with money and legal things. I need help, Arthur. I need someone who can tell me if I'm in trouble. You want my professional opinion? Yes. I lean back in the uncomfortable chair. If your name is on an offshore account that you didn't open, that's identity theft, or fraud, or both. You should contact a lawyer immediately. A criminal defense lawyer, not a corporate attorney. You should document everything, every conversation with Marcus, every file you saw, every transaction you can remember, and you should probably talk to the police. The police? Her face goes pale. Arthur, I can't go to the police. What if they think I was involved? What if they arrest me? Then you cooperate. You tell them the truth. If you're innocent, a good lawyer can prove it. If I'm innocent? Her voice rises. The barista looks over. She lowers it again. What do you mean, if? Arthur, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying that legally, if your name is on documents and accounts, you have liability, regardless of whether you knew or didn't know. She stares at me. You sound like you're reading from a textbook. I am. It's my job. Your job. She laughs again, that same broken sound. God, I forgot how cold you can be, how utterly clinical about everything. You asked for my professional opinion. I gave it. I asked for help, Arthur, help. Not a lecture about legal liability. I don't respond. She wipes her eyes. Mascara smudges under them. I shouldn't have come. I don't know what I was thinking. You don't care. You never cared. Everything is just numbers to you, just problems to solve. Just... Amelia. I cut her off. My voice is sharp, sharper than I intended. You left me 2 weeks ago. You called me boring and grey and beige. You said I made you numb. You left me for a man who you thought had vision and passion and colour. Now you're sitting here telling me that man might be a criminal who's setting you up to take the fall for his crimes. And you want me to care? The words hang in the air between us. She looks like I slapped her. She starts, then stops. I gave you everything, I continue. I'm surprised to find I'm angry, genuinely angry. I haven't felt this way in years, maybe decades. I paid your debts, I worked 2 jobs, I refinanced our house for your mother, I gave up vacations and new clothes and every small luxury so you could have what you needed, and it was never enough. I was never enough. Arthur, I'm not finished. My coffee is cold now. I don't care. You wanted passion. You wanted excitement. You wanted someone who made you feel alive. Well, congratulations. You found him. And now you're discovering that passion and excitement come with a price tag, and that price tag might be a prison sentence. She's crying now, full tears. The barista is definitely watching. I didn't know, she whispers. I swear to God, Arthur, I didn't know. I believe you. You do? Yes, because you're not smart enough to pull off fraud, and you're not greedy enough to risk prison. You're just vain enough and shallow enough to fall for a con man who knew exactly what buttons to push. It's cruel. I know it's cruel even as I'm saying it. But it's also true. She stands up abruptly. The chair scrapes against the floor. I should go. You should. I'm sorry I bothered you. You should be. She grabs her purse, heads for the door, stops halfway there and turns back. The Arthur I married would have helped me. No matter what I did, no matter how much I hurt him, he would have helped. I look at her, really look at her. This woman I spent 22 years with. This stranger who shares my last name for a few more weeks until the divorce is final. The Arthur you married died somewhere around the third time you forgot our anniversary. The man sitting here is just what's left, and what's left doesn't have any more help to give. She leaves. The door closes behind her. The barista comes over. You okay, man? I'm fine. That looked rough. It was. He nods sympathetically. Women, right? No, I say. Not women. Just that one. I finish my cold coffee, leave a tip on the table, walk out into the October night. The air is cold, it smells like rain coming, like the season changing from fall to winter. I get in my car and drive home. I don't feel guilty. I don't feel sad. I don't feel anything. Grey, beige, numb, exactly what she accused me of being. And tomorrow morning I'll submit the report that destroys her life. Because numbers don't lie, but people do. And I'm done protecting people who lie. Day 15, Monday, 8:02 a.m. Gerald reads the executive summary twice. Then he looks up at me over his reading glasses. You're certain about this? Completely certain. Because if we submit this to Evergreen and it's wrong, it's not wrong. Every claim is backed by documentation. Every number is verified. Every conclusion is supported by evidence. He sets the report down on his desk. The stack makes a satisfying thud. 247 pages of truth. This is career-ending for Hale, Gerald says. Maybe prison-ending. Yes? And the wife? Your wife? Ex-wife, soon-to-be ex-wife. Right. She's implicated, deeply implicated. You understand what that means? Yes? He studies my face, looking for something. Regret, maybe. Hesitation. He doesn't find it. Arthur, I have to ask, is this personal? No. Are you sure? Because if there's any chance that your personal feelings about... Gerald, I lean forward. I've been doing this for 32 years. I've never let personal feelings interfere with an audit. I've never fudged numbers to protect someone I liked or destroy someone I hated. This report is clean, it's accurate, it's true. That's all that matters. He nods slowly. Okay, I trust you. I'll call Evergreen and schedule a presentation. When can you be ready? I'm ready now. Thursday, their board meets Thursday. Can you present to the full board? Yes. It'll be high stakes. Their CEO, their legal team, their CFO. Maybe 20 people in the room. You'll need to be prepared for hostile questions. I allow myself a small smile. I'm an accountant. Every question is hostile. He almost laughs. Almost. Okay. Thursday, 10 a.m. Their offices. Bring Mitchell. Bring copies of the full report. And Arthur? Yes? Be ready for backlash. Hale won't go down quietly. Men like him, they've got resources. Lawyers, PR teams, political connections. This is going to get ugly. I'm counting on it. Tuesday, 3:47 p.m. I get another text message, different number from the last threat. $500,000 to walk away, wire transfer, no questions asked. Think about it. I screenshot it, add it to the evidence folder, send copies to Gerald and to my personal attorney. A bribe attempt, perfect. This is better than I hoped. Wednesday, 9:23 p.m. I'm at my house, packing my briefcase for tomorrow's presentation. 3 copies of the report printed and bound, my laptop with the full database of evidence, a folder of exhibits, a USB drive as backup. My phone rings. Unknown number again. I answer. Hello? Mr. Sterling. The voice is male, deep, professional. My name is Richard Chen. I'm an attorney with Rothstein and Associates. Rothstein and Associates, the law firm that formed most of the shell companies. What can I do for you, Mr. Biu Chen? I'm calling on behalf of my client, Marcus Hale. He's aware that you're conducting an audit of his company. He'd like to meet with you before you submit your final report. The report is already submitted. A pause. I see. In that case, he'd like to meet with you before you present it to Evergreen Capital. Why? To discuss your findings, to provide context, to clarify any misunderstandings. There are no misunderstandings. The numbers are clear. Mr. Sterling. His voice hardens slightly. My client is prepared to offer you a consulting fee for your time, a substantial consulting fee, 6 figures, for one meeting, 1 hour of your time. That's a bribe. It's a consulting fee for expert advice. I'm not interested. Mr. Sterling, Mr. Chen, let me be very clear. Your client has committed fraud, systematic, deliberate, extensive fraud. The evidence is overwhelming. No amount of money will change that, and any attempt to bribe me or intimidate me will be documented and added to the evidence file. Do we understand each other? Silence. Then, you're making a mistake. No, your client made the mistake. I'm just documenting it. I hang up. My hands are shaking slightly. Adrenaline, probably. I'm not used to confrontation. I'm used to numbers and spreadsheets and the quiet satisfaction of finding patterns. But this feels good. This feels like justice. I call Gerald. Tell him about the bribe attempt. He's pleased. That's another charge. Attempted bribery. Witness tampering. Arthur, you're building a beautiful case. Thank you. Get some sleep. Tomorrow's the big day. I try to sleep. I lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the house settle around me. The refrigerator hums. The heater kicks on. The world continues turning. And tomorrow I'm going to stop Marcus Hale's world from turning. Thursday, 9:47 a.m. The Evergreen Capital Partners' offices are in the financial district, 42nd floor of a glass tower that reflects the morning sun like a mirror. The lobby is all marble and modern art. The receptionist is wearing a suit that probably costs more than my car. Mitchell and I are wearing our best suits. His is designer. Mine is the same grey suit I've worn to every important meeting for the past 10 years. Dry cleaned yesterday. Pressed this morning. Perfectly boring. We're escorted to the executive conference room. It's enormous. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. A table that could seat 30 people. A screen at one end for presentations. The Evergreen team is already here. Their CEO, Catherine Morrison, 55, steel grey hair, reputation for being ruthless. Their CFO, David Park. Their general counsel, Rachel Greenbaum. 4 other executives I don't recognize, their due diligence team. And sitting at the far end of the table, Marcus Hale, Brian Hartford, and 2 men in expensive suits who must be their attorneys. Marcus sees me and smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. "Arthur," he says warmly as if we're old friends. "Good to see you again." I nod. Don't speak. Catherine Morrison stands. "Let's get started. Mr. Sterling, you have the floor." I connect my laptop to the presentation system. The Mercer & Associates logo appears on the screen. Then I begin. "Good morning, I'm Arthur Sterling, senior partner at Mercer & Associates. For the past 2 weeks, my team has conducted a comprehensive forensic audit of Apex Innovations. Our scope included all financial records, bank statements, contracts, and transactions for the past 5 years. I click to the next slide. Our findings indicate systematic fraud totaling approximately $23 million over a 3-year period. The room goes very quiet. Marcus's smile disappears. "That's absurd," Brian Hartford says. "That's absolutely—" "Let him finish," Catherine Morrison says sharply. I continue. "The fraud mechanism was elegant in its simplicity. Apex created 14 shell companies, all registered in Delaware or Nevada. The company would sign contracts with these shells, book revenue based on the contracts, transfer payment to the shells, and then receive the same money back as payment for services rendered. This created the appearance of organic growth, while actual legitimate revenue remained relatively stagnant." Click. Next slide. A chart showing the circular flow of money. These transactions represent 27.7% of Apex's reported revenue during the relevant period. Without this fraudulent revenue, the company's actual growth rate would be approximately negative 3% year-over-year. David Park, the CFO, is making notes furiously. Rachel Greenbaum, the lawyer, is reading through her copy of the report. In addition to revenue fraud, we identified approximately $4.7 million that was diverted to offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands. These diversions appear to constitute embezzlement. Click. Next slide. Bank statements. The offshore accounts are held in two names, Marcus Hale and Amelia Sterling. Marcus stands up. This is a smear job. This is... Sit down, Mr. Hale, Catherine Morrison says. Her voice could freeze water. You'll have a chance to respond. Marcus sits. One of his attorneys leans over and whispers something. Marcus shakes his head angrily. I continue my presentation for 45 minutes. Every slide is a nail in the coffin. Every exhibit is another piece of evidence. Every chart shows another angle of the fraud. When I finish, the room is silent. Catherine Morrison looks at Marcus. Mr. Hale, would you like to respond? Marcus stands. His face is red. His hands are clenched. This is complete fiction, fabricated evidence. This man, he points at me. This man has a personal vendetta against me. He's trying to destroy my company because why? I ask quietly. Because I'm in a relationship with his wife. This is personal. This is revenge. Catherine Morrison looks at me. Mr. Sterling, is this true? Yes, I say. Marcus Hale is in a relationship with my soon-to-be ex-wife. They began their affair approximately 6 months ago. She left me for him 2 weeks ago. So you admit you have a personal motivation to damage him. I admit I have a personal connection to one of the parties involved. However, the evidence speaks for itself. Every transaction I've documented can be verified independently. Every bank statement is authentic. Every contract is real. My personal feelings about Mr. Hale are irrelevant to the math. I pull up one more slide. If you'd like, we can verify any specific transaction right now. Give me a contract number, any contract number from the past 3 years. I'll show you the full trail. David Park speaks up. Contract A2147, Vertex Distribution Solutions. I smile. This is the first one I investigated. Excellent choice. Contract A2147 was signed September 15, 2023. Client, Vertex Distribution Solutions, a Delaware LLC registered on August 3, 2023. Registered agent, Rothstein and Associates, the same law firm that just attempted to bribe me yesterday. One of Marcus's attorneys goes pale. The contract was for $2.3 million. Apex booked the full amount as revenue in Q3 2023. Payment was transferred to Vertex's bank account on September 30th. That same day, Vertex transferred $2.2 million back to Apex as payment for consulting services. The difference, $100,000, was transferred to an offshore account in Marcus Hale's name. I pull up the bank statements, show them on the screen. Every transaction is documented. Every transfer is traceable. This isn't fiction, this is fact. Marcus's attorney stands. We'll need time to review these allegations, to prepare a response, to... No, Catherine Morrison says. We're done here. Mr. Hale, this merger is terminated. We'll be forwarding Mr. Sterling's report to the appropriate authorities. I suggest you retain criminal counsel. You can't do this, Marcus says. His voice is desperate now, panicked. Catherine, we've been negotiating for 6 months. 6 months. You can't just walk away because some accountant with a grudge. I can, she says, and I am. This meeting is over. She stands. The rest of the Evergreen team stands with her. Marcus turns to me. His face is purple with rage. You destroyed me. You fucking destroyed me because your wife left you for a real man. I pack up my laptop, close my briefcase. No, Marcus. You destroyed yourself. I just counted the pieces. I'll sue you. I'll sue your firm. You'll go to prison, I say calmly. The FBI will be very interested in your offshore accounts and your shell companies and your attempts to bribe and intimidate witnesses. Numbers don't lie, but people do, and you, Marcus, are a very prolific liar. I walk toward the door. Mitchell follows. What about Amelia? Marcus shouts after me. What about your wife? She's going down too. Her name is on everything. She's going to prison because of you. I stop, turn back. My ex-wife made her choices. She chose you. She chose luxury over stability, passion over reliability, excitement over boring grey-beige Arthur Sterling, and now she gets to live with the consequences. I walk out. In the elevator, Mitchell is grinning. Boss, that was fucking legendary. Language, I say automatically. Sorry, but seriously. Did you see his face when you pulled up that bank statement? I thought he was going to have a stroke. He still might. We exit the building, step out into the October morning. The sun is shining, the air is crisp. The city smells like coffee and possibility. My phone rings. Gerald. Arthur, how did it go? Evergreen is withdrawing from the merger. They're forwarding our report to federal authorities. Yes, he actually shouts it. Arthur, do you know what this means? The reputation we just built, the precedent we just set. We're going to have clients lined up around the block. That's good. Good? It's incredible. Take the rest of the week off. Hell, take next week too. You've earned it. I'll think about it. I hang up. Mitchell is checking his phone. Boss, it's all over LinkedIn already. Evergreen walks away from Apex deal. Sources cite accounting irregularities. This is going viral. Good. What are you going to do now? I think about that. What am I going to do now? I've spent 2 weeks building this case. 2 weeks focused on nothing but numbers and evidence and the quiet satisfaction of catching a criminal. And now it's done. I'm going to get lunch, I say. Real lunch. At a restaurant. With actual food. Want company? No, but thank you. I walk to my car. The Honda Accord, 12 years old. Cloth seats. No navigation system. Boring. Grey. Beige. Perfect. I drive to a small diner I like near the river. The kind of place with vinyl booths and laminated menus and coffee that cost $2.50, including refills. I order a patty melt and French fries and coffee. I eat slowly, watching the river through the window. And for the first time in 2 weeks, maybe the first time in 22 years, I feel at peace. 4 days later, Monday, 6:43 a.m. The news breaks on Monday morning. I'm at home drinking coffee when my phone starts buzzing. Text messages, emails, calls from reporters I've never heard of. I turn on the television. Arrested this morning at his downtown apartment, Marcus Hale, CEO of Apex Innovations, is facing multiple federal charges, including wire fraud, money laundering, and embezzlement. The charges stem from an audit conducted by local accounting firm Mercer and Associates, which uncovered what prosecutors are calling one of the most sophisticated corporate fraud schemes in recent memory. The screen shows footage of Marcus being led out of his building in handcuffs. He's wearing pajama pants and a t-shirt, no expensive suit, no leased Maserati. Just a middle-aged man who thought he was smarter than the system. Also arrested was Amelia Sterling, a project coordinator at Apex, who allegedly helped facilitate the fraud. Sterling's attorney says she is cooperating with authorities and was unaware of the illegal nature of the transactions. The screen shows a photo of Amelia. It's her LinkedIn profile picture. Professional, smiling, confident. That photo is maybe 3 months old. She looks different now, I imagine. Less confident. Less certain that the world owes her excitement and passion and color. My phone rings. It's a number I don't recognize. I answer. Arthur Sterling. Mr. Sterling, this is Sarah Chen from Channel 7 News. We'd like to interview you about... I hang up. The phone immediately rings again. Different number. I turn it off. I finish my coffee, make breakfast, scrambled eggs and toast, cheap butter from the grocery store, orange juice from a carton, simple, grey, boring, exactly what I need. 3 weeks later, the divorce papers are final. I sign them at my attorney's office on a Wednesday afternoon. 22 years of marriage dissolved in 17 pages of legal language. I'm sorry it came to this, my attorney says. She's a kind woman named Patricia who specializes in family law. I'm not, I say honestly. Really? Really? I spent 22 years trying to be enough for someone who would never be satisfied. I'm not sorry it's over. I'm sorry it took this long. She smiles. That's healthier than most of my clients. I take my copy of the decree, walk out into the November afternoon. The criminal trial is scheduled for March. Amelia's attorney has negotiated a plea deal, testimony against Marcus in exchange for reduced charges. She'll probably get probation and community service, maybe a year in minimum security if the prosecutor pushes hard. Marcus is facing 25 to 30 years. His attorneys are already filing motions, seeking delays, trying to exclude evidence. It won't work. The case is airtight. Numbers don't lie. 1 month later, Christmas Eve. I'm alone in my house. The heat is on. The tree is not up because I've never liked Christmas trees. They're a fire hazard and the needles are a pain to clean up. I'm reading a book, historical biography, Churchill. It's dense and well-researched and I'm enjoying it. My phone rings. I almost don't answer, but the number looks familiar. Hello? Arthur? It's Amelia. Her voice is different, smaller, tired. Hello, Amelia. I wanted to call, to say I'm sorry. For everything. For leaving. For calling you boring. For not seeing what I had. For Amelia. I mark my place in the book. Why are you calling? Because I need you to know that I'm sorry. That I understand now what you were trying to give me. Stability, security. A life that was safe. I threw it away for excitement, and I'm paying the price. And I'm sorry. I think about that. I accept your apology. You do? Yes, because you're right. You did throw it away, and you are paying the price. And I hope someday you'll understand that boring and stable and grey aren't character flaws. They're character strengths. Silence. Are you happy? She asks finally. Are you happy it ended this way? Am I happy? I look around my house. The beige walls, the worn furniture, the kitchen where I make grilled cheese and tomato soup, the office where I work on audits that nobody but me finds interesting. Yes, I say, I'm happy. I don't believe you. That's okay. You don't have to believe me. But it's true. I spent 2 decades trying to be what you wanted, exciting, passionate, colourful, and I failed because that's not who I am. I'm an accountant. I like numbers. I like spreadsheets. I like knowing that 2 + 2 = 4 and nothing anyone says can change that. That sounds lonely. It's not lonely, it's peaceful. There's a difference. Another silence. I should go, she says. My lawyer said I shouldn't be calling you anyway. Conflict of interest or something. Probably smart. Arthur. Yes? I hope someday you find someone who appreciates what you are. Not someone who tries to change you. Just someone who sees you and thinks, yes, this is enough. Maybe, I say. Or maybe I don't need someone. Maybe just being appreciated by myself is enough. That's very zen. That's very accountant. She laughs. A real laugh this time. Not broken, just sad. Merry Christmas, Arthur. Merry Christmas, Amelia. She hangs up. I go back to my book. Churchill is dealing with political enemies in Parliament. He's outmaneuvered them through patience and careful planning and refusing to let emotion cloud his judgment. I relate to Churchill. 6 months later, June. The trial is over. Marcus Hale received 28 years in federal prison. Amelia received 2 years probation and 500 hours of community service. She's working at a food bank downtown, serving meals to homeless people 3 days a week. I saw her once, a month ago. She was wearing jeans and a t-shirt and no makeup. She looked tired, but also somehow more real than she ever looked, when she was trying to be someone she wasn't. She didn't see me. I didn't approach her. Some doors once closed should stay closed. Mercer and Associates has tripled in size. We've been retained by 6 new clients, all of them Fortune 500 companies who want forensic audits of their competitors or partners or subsidiaries. Gerald promoted me to executive partner. I got a raise. I bought a new suit, still grey but a nicer grey. Mitchell left the firm, got recruited by the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit. He calls me sometimes, asking about techniques or methodology. I help when I can. He's going to be good at that work. Me? I'm still doing audits, still finding patterns in numbers, still uncovering fraud that people thought they'd hidden perfectly. Numbers don't lie, but people do. And I'm very, very good at catching people when they lie. 1 year later, October. It's a Tuesday morning, October, the same month Amelia left. I'm in my office at Mercer & Associates, corner window, 3rd floor. The photograph of Amelia is gone. In its place is a framed print I bought at an art fair. It's abstract, mostly grey and blue. The artist called it Equilibrium. I like it. It's calm, balanced, stable. My phone buzzes. Text message from Gerald. New case, pharmaceutical company. Possible off-label marketing fraud. $200 million revenue at stake. You interested? I text back, yes. Because this is what I do. This is who I am. I'm Arthur Sterling. I'm 59 years old. I wear grey suits and drive a Honda Accord and drink coffee that costs $2.50, including refills. I'm boring. I'm beige. I'm grey. And I'm exactly who I want to be. I open my laptop and start a new file. At the top of the page I type, "Numbers don't lie, but people do." And then I begin to work. 2 years later. Present day. I'm sitting by the river. There's a bench here I like, under a willow tree that's old enough to have been here before the city grew up around it. The water is moving slowly, reflecting the late afternoon sun. I have a thermos of coffee, not from a fancy coffee shop. Just the coffee I made at home in my 12-year-old Mr. Coffee machine. It's perfectly mediocre. It's perfect. My phone is in my pocket, turned off. I have a book, same Churchill biography. I'm rereading it. Some books deserve to be read multiple times. A woman sits down on the other end of the bench. She's about my age, maybe younger. She has grey hair, natural grey, not dyed. She's wearing jeans and a cardigan and comfortable shoes. She has a book too, mystery novel. Something with a detective on the cover. We sit in comfortable silence for a while. Reading, drinking coffee from our respective thermoses, watching the river. Eventually she speaks. Beautiful day. Yes, I agree. Do you come here often? Every Tuesday afternoon. You? First time. I just moved to the city, retired, looking for quiet places. This is a good one. More silence. Then, I'm Janet. Arthur. We shake hands. Her grip is firm, confident. She has calluses. Someone who works with her hands. A gardener, maybe. Or a woodworker. What do you do, Arthur? I'm an accountant. Forensic auditor, actually. That sounds interesting. Most people think it sounds boring. Most people think quiet is boring too, she says, but there's a difference between boring and peaceful. I smile. There is. We go back to reading. The sun continues its slow descent toward the horizon. The river keeps flowing. The world keeps turning. And for the first time in a very long time, I think maybe grey and beige and boring aren't the worst things to be. Maybe they're exactly right. Maybe they're enough. Marcus Hale is currently serving 28 years in federal prison. He will be eligible for parole in 2043. Amelia Sterling completed her probation and now works as a counselor at a non-profit, helping women escape financial abuse. Arthur Sterling continues to work as a forensic auditor. He has personally uncovered over $400 million in corporate fraud. He drinks his coffee black, drives a 2012 Honda Accord, and has never been happier. Revenge isn't loud, it's final. If this story resonated with you, smash that subscribe button. We post stories like this every week. The quiet ones, the patient ones, the ones where justice doesn't scream, it calculates. Drop a comment below. What would you have done in Arthur's position? And remember, being boring isn't a weakness. It's a superpower.